I would have to say fall is the best time to build a big compost heap. It is because there's so many leaves falling. There's lots of garden debris coming out of your garden as you clean up as the season winds down. And gardening is a lot about planning ahead. And this is going to be my soil for next season. I use these very lightweight, easy to use Geobins, and they come rolled up. You just set them up in a circle. It's very easy to put together, very lightweight. And once the compost breaks down, when you open it up, you can take soil from the bottom. And I've done that a couple times this season. And you can just set it back up with the unfinished compost that was at the top. So you can see I use a lot of leaves, I use cardboard. I've buried a lot of the garden cleanup under the cardboard. And by putting some bigger pieces of cardboard in, it keeps the rain from coming through the pile too fast and leaching out those ingredients during the winter. And leaching out the nutrients, I should say. But guys, this is going to be my soil for next season, and it's going to be richer than anything I can buy at the store. Much of the soil that's in these 2 raised beds by my polytunnel is made from my homemade compost, and a lot of it was composted right in place. I put lots of garden debris here, very, very few bags of store-bought soil, but a lot of it has broken down and made some very nice soil for me, and I will renew that every year with my composting operations. One thing about using your own compost is that it does continue to break down, so you're always topping off your soil levels. But look at all the good growing you can do just in your own compost. It certainly does save a lot of money. I'm a very lazy composter, so most of my composting is cold compost methods where I just put in what I have, and if I happen to add a lot of greens at one time, then I'll make sure I add some browns, either paper or leaves, to try to balance it. But I really don't worry about ratios. I just make sure I'm layering it in there, and every now and then I do feel some heat coming from the pile if I add, you know, a lot of kitchen scraps at once, or if I add a lot of greens. But mostly it's cold compost, and it probably takes about 6 months to break down. I let the worms and microbes do the job, and it makes it very easy for me. I really don't stress out about it at all. I let nature do all the work, and I think I come out with a very beautiful product. Right now it looks a little messy, but eventually all this cardboard will be incorporated into my pile. And on the topic of cardboard, I get cardboard mostly from the grocery store, and I know that if it is transporting produce, for example, or any food product, it's not going to have formaldehyde or fire retardant sprayed on it. And then I remove the labels and the tape, of course. So all it is basically is mostly brown cardboard going in, and I don't worry about it too much. It's a really good brown source. My compost pile just gave me a compliment. I just added in some coffee grounds and shredded paper, and I realized that I had put some fortune cookies in there with a fortune, and it said, "You'll be the beacon of positivity in your circle." Well, isn't that a nice compliment? Thank you, compost heap. Here's a ratty elephant ear leaf, which I just chopped down and put in my compost pile for greens. And I will come back later with some scissors and chop that up small. It helps the compost to break down faster. And as you can see, I have a little visitor here flying around. And sometimes the flying wasps will lay eggs in there, and the larvae will help break down this compost. So don't be too concerned if you see bug activity around your compost. They are the decomposers you need to build that beautiful soil. For the record, I don't add any dairy or meat. I don't want to attract any undesirable visitors like foxes or raccoons or even bears, anything like that. And I do not turn my compost pile. All of these layers are turned by the decomposers that move into this pile. So it couldn't get any easier than that, guys. So if you haven't started your compost heap yet, what are you waiting for? Do it now. It's the best time, and in the spring, you'll be glad you did.